welcome to O2 Life. My name is David. Today we're going to do an O2 flow. No props necessary, but if you've got blocks or straps or blankets at home that you like to use in your practice, certainly incorporate them as you feel necessary. My Spotify playlist is linked in the details of this video. Open the link, press play now, and enjoy the flow. So today we're going to start child's pose. So you're facing the front of the mat. Go ahead and bring your feet together, your knees wide. Walk your hands forward, drop your hips back. And then just start to rock your hips a little side to side. You might be coming to your mat first thing in the morning. So if you're a little tight, then certainly don't feel too bad about that. Just be okay with where the body is at this very moment. Know that as you breathe and as you move, hopefully you create a little bit more space. You build a little bit of confidence, a little bit more competency in all of the activities and movements that we find in this practice. Just go ahead and breathe in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale. And 2 more breaths just like that. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. And just 1 more breath to clear everything out as you start to come into the practice today. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. And then just go ahead and come up to your tabletop position. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through. Exhale, press into your hands and knees. Find a cat in the spine. Inhale, you find a little bit of length. You drop the belly. Take your gaze up. And then as you exhale, press the earth away. Take your gaze inwards. Press the back of the heart to the sky. And tuck your tailbone to your knees. Inhale, pull through. Exhale, coil in. 1 more time, breath. And exhale. I'm just starting to feel how the spine can move. Space between the vertebrae. Plant both hands, tuck your toes, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. And just kind of staying with this concept of fluid movement. Use your inhale, just roll all the way out to plank pose. So you lead with the back of the heart. Come out to that position, you're in a high push-up, you're pressing the earth away, you're spinning your biceps forward. Then as you exhale, just a little bend in the knees, slide your hips back towards your heels, and then lift your hips high. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You're pressing your hands forward, you're sending your heels back. You're creating this mountain shape in the body, your hips are rising high to the sky. Inhale, lead with the back of the heart, roll forward. Press the earth away, resist gravity. Engage your navel. Bend the knees as you exhale, take your hips towards your heels. And then take your hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Just a few more rounds, just kind of going at your own pace. Inhale, roll forward, plank pose. At the end of your plank pose, you're going to take your hips back and high, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. And last round, inhale. Just feeling this movement through the shoulders. Feeling this connection to your core. Starting to feel how your legs can really start to drive your practice. And we'll start to move into some sun salutations. Inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. 3-legged dog. Exhale, step all the way through to your right thumb. Now you're going to set your feet a little bit wider like they're on train tracks instead of on a tightrope. So your right foot's going a little farther to the right. Your left foot's going a little further to the left. Your back foot 45 degrees. Square the hips towards the front of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana. Sink into the front knee. Press off the back foot. So you're driving in the outer edge of the left foot to move your left hip forward, and you're starting to draw your right hip back. Take a big breath in, reach for the sky. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down behind you, interlace. Just notice which thumb's on top. You're going to just try and alternate as you go side to side. Inhale, chase your hands down towards your left heel, spread the chest, lift the heart, spread the collarbones. And then as you exhale, just hinge inside of your front knee. Right shoulder presses the right knee away. Again, find that squaring of the hips, left hip forward, right hip back, and then reach your hands as far forward as you can. And then bring your hands down to the mat. Step back to your plank pose, high push-up. Reach back through the heels, move your chest slightly forward. As you exhale, bend the elbows straight back. Lower as slowly as you can, come down to the earth until your heart, your hips touch at the same time. Untuck your toes. Press into the tops of the feet, feel the quads engage. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, bring the chest back down. Press back through a tabletop position, hands and knees. Tuck your toes, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. Right into the next side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Lift, lengthen, extend. Exhale, look forward, step forward. You're going to take the left foot to the left, the right foot to the right. Train tracks, not tightrope. Drop the right heel down 45 degrees. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. Virabhadrasana. Press off that back foot. Feel the right hip moving forward, left hip pulling back. Sink into your left knee. Take a big breath in, reach for the sky. Exhale, bring the hands down behind you, interlace. Again, you're just think about putting the opposite thumb on top, opposite pinky on bottom, and if you mix it up, doesn't matter, it's your practice. Inhale, chase your hands down towards your right heel, spread the collarbones, lift the chest. Exhale, bow inside of your front knee. Take your gaze back towards your right heel, keep sinking into the left knee, and just reach the arms overhead for a big shoulder stretch. Release your hands down to the mat. Step back to your plank pose. Press the earth away, resist gravity. Reach back through the heels, engage the core. Exhale, lower all the way down to the earth. Heart, hips, chin, maybe touch at the same time. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift the chest, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale through hands and knees, tabletop position. Find downward facing dog. A couple more times, just to create a little rhythm, a little connection of your breath to your movement. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step through right thumb. Train tracks, left toes 45 degrees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands swim behind you, interlace, original thumb on top. Inhale, chase your hands down, lift your heart. Exhale, humble warrior. The foundation of your legs is strong, yet you find this surrender in the chest, the stretch in the shoulders. Hands touch down. Inhale, take your right leg back. Maybe it hovers. Exhale to your low push-up position. Elbows in line with shoulders, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull your chest through, tops of the feet. Hips are lifted this time for your upward facing dog. Take your hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, look forward, step through. Set your feet 45 degrees with the right toes. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, swim behind you, interlace. Big breath in, lift the chest, chase the hands towards the right heel. Exhale, find that place of surrender, that place of heaviness that allows you to sink into that left hip, humble warrior. Release the hands down to the ground. Inhale, left foot back to hover, three-legged plank. Exhale, three-legged chaturanga, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, pull the chest through, upward facing dog. Exhale, take your hips high. Downward facing dog. Last round. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, step through. Warrior one, breath in. Shoulder stretch, breath out. Inhale, lift and expand, spread the collarbones. Exhale, fold inside of the right knee, humble warrior. Release your hands down to the ground. Step back, three-legged plank. Low push-up. Press back up, high push-up. Low push-up, high push-up. Last time, low push-up, upward facing dog. Take your hips high, downward facing dog. Last side, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step through. Breath in, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Find your connection, interlace, that bind. Inhale, lift, expand. Exhale, fold in, surrender, root down, ground in. Plant your hands. Step back to your three-legged plank. Low push-up, high push-up, low push-up, high push-up. Last one, low push-up, hold. Pull the chest through, upward facing. Take your hips high. Downward facing dog. And then just go ahead and drop your knees down to the earth. Keep your toes tucked. Drop your seat towards your heels. Take a moment. Acknowledge the heat that you've started to build through sun salutations. Close your eyes. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the nose. Inhale to 1/3 and pause. Inhale to 2/3 and pause. Inhale fully. Hold the breath full. Exhale, let the breath go. Inhale 1/3. Inhale 2/3. Inhale to your capacity. Hold the breath full, pull the navel up and in, spread the shoulders. Exhale, let the breath go. Last round. 1/3. 2/3. 3/3. Hold full. Open your mouth, exhale. Hands down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Bang the tops of the feet onto the mat. Just release any tension that you might still be carrying in there. Go and find your downward facing dog. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step outside of your right hand. Go ahead and drop the back knee down. Sink the hips forward. Pull the chest through. Rock your hips a little side to side. Just start to find any kind of movement that feels good into the right hip. You're going to keep your left hand down. Go ahead and take your right hand up to the sky. Easy twist. Start to feel like this left shoulder blade starting to scoop behind the left lung. And then reach back with your right hand. Bend your left knee. Catch the foot. Quad stretch. Release the foot. Bring both hands forward. Pull your hips back in space. Straighten the right leg. Spread the right toes. Half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. Lengthen in the low spine. Extend into the right hamstring. Come right back into the bend of the front knee. Step back to your plank pose. Go from your high push-up to your low push-up. Hold this low push-up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your upward facing dog. Tops of the feet, hips lifted. Chest rising, core engaged. Exhale, take your hips high, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step outside of your left hand. Drop the back knee down, just like we did on the other side. You're going to go ahead and sink the hips down and forward. Pull the chest through. Right hand stays down. Take your left hand to the sky. Twist to the left. Move your chest forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Left hand can reach back. Bend the right knee. Catch the right foot. Kick the foot into the hand to find a little bit more back bend. Squeeze the heel towards your butt to find a big stretch in the quad. Just here for a couple more breaths. Either find stillness or almost kind of like playing a violin. You just kind of move that shin forward and backward, moving between back bend and quad stretch, and seeing how the two are interrelated. Release the foot, both hands forward. Pull your hips back. Stretch through the left leg. The left leg goes to straight. Spread the left toes. Reach the chest forward. Be with your breath. Come back on the bend of the front knee. Plant both hands. Step back to your high plank pose. You're going to lower to your low plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. You hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Upward facing dog. Take your hips high. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. How's your downward facing dog feel in your shoulders and your hips and your hamstrings? Check in with the quality of your breath. Can you lengthen your inhale? Match the length of the exhale at the same pace, same length. And look forward. Make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. And then just go ahead and grab elbow to elbow, swaying right elbow. Let's rock a little side to side. Release your elbows, roll all the way up to standing, reach your hands to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana. Bring your hands together to touch, bend your knees, drop your seat back. You're coming to Utkatasana chair pose. Send your hips back, lift all 10 toes. Spread those 10 toes and then bring them right back down to the earth. You're going to twist left elbow to the right knee. Squeeze the elbow and the knee together, reach your head forward, send your hips back. You're going to add all your weight to your right foot, rise up to your left tiptoes. Take your gaze down so that you've got a place to hold your balance, your focus, your drishti. Call this flamingo pose. Standing on one leg, you find your balance. Extend the left leg back. You're in a twisting half moon variation. Step the left toes back. You can fly your wings. Find your twisting crescent lunge. Squeeze the tricep and the knee together. Maybe take your gaze up to the sky. Inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Open up, warrior two. Bend into your front knee, your left toes face left, your right toes face forward. Squeezing your heels together, engage in the hamstrings, reach forward and backward with your fingertips. Melt the shoulders. Be here with your breath. Take your left hand, bring it to the top of the mat, and you're going to plant the left hand. Step your right foot back, turn to face the right side of the mat, stagger the feet. Right hand draws up to the sky like drawing a bow, Vashisthasana side plank. Press through your left hand. Reach the right fingertips forward. Maybe lift your right leg, bend the knee, drop the toes behind you. Find wild thing, back bend, scoop the hips up, reach forward with your right fingers. Look forward. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. You're going to walk your hands to the left. Both feet or both toes are going to face towards the left edge of the mat. Forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Toes slightly tucked in, heels slightly moving out. You can take your peace fingers to your big toes or to draw your chest down towards the ground. Tuck the chin, let the crown of the head point towards the earth. Great place to stay, or maybe take your hands to your calves, give yourself a little calf massage. And then take your hands up into your hamstrings, just start to move your fingers in between the muscles, just trying to create a little bit more room, a little bit more space. Hands come behind you, interlace at your low back. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades, reach the arms overhead. And just here for a few breaths. Release your hands down to the ground. Turn to face the front of the mat. Step your back foot forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Take your hands, palms up underneath your feet. Padahastasana, gorilla's pose. If you have a hard time getting your hands under your feet, bend your knees. Lay your chest on your thighs. Wiggle your toes into your wrists for like a little wrist massage. Rock your head side to side. Yes and no. Little circles. And then just release your hands. Roll all the way up to standing. Reach your hands to the sky, or Urdhva Hands together to touch. Bend the knees, drop your seat back. Utkatasana, chair pose, fierce pose. Nice big breath in. This time you're going to take your right elbow to your left knee. Squeeze the elbow and the knee, send the hips back, the head forward. Rise up to your right tiptoes. Take your gaze down, find your point of gaze, your drishti, find your balance. Squeeze right heel towards the right glute. Step the foot back, move through twisting half moon pose. Right toes land. Find your balance. Keep squeezing the elbow and the tricep together. Maybe the right fingertips go down, the left fingertips go up. Press off your back toes, rotate your chest up to the sky. Sweep both hands to the sky, full crescent lunge. Open up, warrior two. From your warrior two, sink into the front knee. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Feel the low ribs drawing in, your core connected. Be here for just a few more breaths. Take your right hand to the front right corner of the mat. You're going to step your left foot back, turn to face the left side of the mat. Stagger the feet, Vashisthasana, side plank. Left hand to the sky. And then maybe forward. Lift the hips as high as possible. Try to breathe into the left side. Come to your left tiptoes. Lift that left leg up. Drop the toes behind you. So you're scooping your hips to the sky. You're pressing down through your right hand. You're reaching through your left fingertips. Option is always there to go into full wheel if that's in your practice. You're just going to take your gaze forward, draw your left knee into your chest. Step right back up to the top of the mat. Walk your hands around to the left. This time you're just going to bend your right knee, sink your hips, come into Skandasana, maybe turn your left toes to the sky. And then just move into your left knee, bend the left knee, turn your right toes up to the sky, right leg is straight. Just moving a little bit side to side, just finding nice fluid movement through the hips. Staying connected to your breath. Once more into the right hip. And then lastly into the left side again. You're going to turn to face forward. Go ahead and take your left foot wide, step your right foot wider than your right hand, come into your Malasana Yogi squat. Send the hips down, lift your chest high. Go ahead and take your hands behind you, slowly lower onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Keep squeezing the knees in, maybe take your nose up to touch your knees, just feel like you're drawing everything into a ball, Apanasana pose. Just feeling gravity pull the body down while you're squeezing the knees into the chest. And then just drop your feet down onto the earth. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Open that right knee wide. Your right hand reaches through the center, left hand reaches around. You grab your left shin for a supine pigeon pose. Squeeze the left knee towards the left shoulder. Use your right elbow to press the right knee away from you and find that big stretch into your right hip flexor, right glute. Rock a little side to side on your low back. Just a few more breaths. And then just release the shin, bring both feet back down to the floor, go into the other side. Left ankle over the right knee. Press the left knee forward, open in that figure four shape. Left hand goes through the center of the legs. Right hand wraps around the right shin. Grab for the shin, squeeze right knee towards right shoulder. Use the left elbow to press the left knee away. Move a little side to side, just feeling your lower lumbar spine. Kind of take a nice, natural, easy massage from your mat. Just being here with your breath. Release the shin. Bring both feet down onto the ground. Hands down beside you. Press into your feet. Scoop your hips to the sky, bridge pose. Pressing into the feet. Your feet should be parallel, facing the same direction. You can take your hands behind you, interlace. Move your left shoulder blade underneath your left lung, your right shoulder blade underneath your right lung. So you're really starting to squeeze the shoulder blades, feel them retract around the spine. And then just lift the hips a little higher. Press the forearms down a little firmer. 2 more breaths. And then just lower 1 vertebrae at a time down onto the mat. And you're just going to extend both legs long. Bring your hands down by your side and turn your palms up to the sky and just take up as much space as you can here on the mat. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, shift your hips, shift your shoulders, shake your head. Once you feel like you've landed in that space that's entirely comfortable and entirely supported here in your final resting corpse pose, Shavasana, just close the eyes and take this time to meet all of the effort of your practice. Let these last several moments of ease. And I just invite you to spend the next 10 to 20 breaths here in this supine position. Just taking this time with your breath. And just whenever you are finished, you're welcome to find a comfortable cross-legged seat. And just take a moment of gratitude for this practice. And take a moment of gratitude for this day. And just closing your practice, I say namaste.